Have you ever felt like there's something more to you than what the world sees? Like you're on the edge of something monumental, but you just can't quite touch it? Well, that's because you're not meant to stay in the shadows. You, the chosen one, are destined for greatness, though you might not feel that way right now. There's a power inside you, something vast and untapped, waiting to break free. But for too long, the world has tried to suppress it, and so have you. You may have been conditioned to believe you're just another person in the crowd, yet deep inside, you know you're meant to stand out. This is your awakening, your moment to realize that the unseen power within you is stronger than anything that has tried to hold you back. Your journey starts not with a grand revelation, but with a quiet knowing. It starts with recognizing the potential that lies dormant in your spirit. This power is ancient. It's a force that has been waiting for the right moment to awaken, and that moment is now. You are not just a passive observer in your own life. You are the creator, the force that shapes everything. But first, you must look within, break free from the illusions, and finally understand who you truly are. The power you seek isn't external, it's already inside you. The illusion of control, breaking the chains. Do you remember when someone told you that you couldn't do it? That you were too small, too weak, too inexperienced? For years, they painted a picture of your life, one that had limits, boundaries, and expectations that never felt right to you. But here's the truth, those limits were never yours. They were imposed on you by people who couldn't see your potential, who were terrified of what you could become if you truly broke free. I'll never forget the day I realized the chains weren't real. It was like I'd been living inside a box, not knowing I had the key to unlock the door. I was always told that I had to fit into a certain mold, that I had to follow a specific path to be accepted, to be successful. But deep down, something inside me rebelled against that. It felt wrong. And then, one day, I saw it. The illusion, the very thing that had been holding me back, began to unravel. They built this world for you, a world where you were meant to remain small, forgotten, and limited. But the truth is, those chains were never unbreakable. They were just made of thin threads of fear, doubt, and control. The moment you see them for what they are, you realize they can't hold you. Break free. You are not meant to live within someone else's boundaries. Your potential is limitless, and it's time to claim it. Awakening the inner vision, seeing beyond the surface. For years, I walked through life with my eyes closed. I only saw what others wanted me to see. I followed their rules, their expectations, their version of reality. But there was always something deep inside me, a quiet voice, a gentle nudge that told me there was more. The world around me wasn't the full picture. It was just a surface, a mere reflection of what was beneath. That's when I began to awaken. It wasn't sudden. It wasn't a bright flash of light, it was subtle, like the soft glow of dawn breaking through the night. Slowly, I started to see things I had never noticed before. I started to understand that there was an entire world beneath the surface, a deeper truth that others had been blind to. I could feel it, I could see it, even though it wasn't obvious at first. The moment you awaken to your inner vision, you'll never look at the world the same way again. You begin to see the truth behind the masks, the reality beneath the illusion. This isn't just about seeing the world differently, it's about seeing yourself differently. You are not who they told you to be. You are a force that transcends what's been handed to you. Embrace that vision. Trust your ability to perceive more than what meets the eye. You hold the key to unlocking your true power. And that power begins with seeing beyond the surface. The mastery of your own game, becoming the true player. Imagine a chessboard. Everyone around you is moving pieces, believing they control the game. They think you're just another pawn, a small piece in a much larger scheme. They have their strategies, their moves mapped out, convinced they know exactly where you fit into the puzzle. But here's the catch, they're not the ones playing the game. You are. I remember when I realized this for myself. I had spent years letting others dictate my moves, telling me where I should go, what I should do, who I should be. I was playing their game, following their rules, living a life that wasn't truly mine. But the moment I stepped back and looked at the bigger picture, I saw it clearly. I wasn't a pawn. I was the one holding the board. I was the true player in this game. That realization was powerful, you see. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they could control your every move. But what they didn't understand was that you were already rewriting the rules. You were always 10 steps ahead, watching, learning, and preparing for the right moment to strike. When you take control of your own life, you start to play your game, not theirs. And in your game, you decide the moves, the strategies, and the ultimate outcome, transforming obstacles into stepping stones. Life is full of obstacles. We all face them, big ones, small ones, ones that seem insurmountable. And it's easy to think that these obstacles are here to stop us, to keep us from reaching our full potential. But what if I told you that every single obstacle you face is actually a stepping stone on your path to greatness? When I was younger, I faced what felt like insurmountable challenges. I was told I wasn't good enough, smart enough, strong enough. The obstacles in my way seemed endless. But the moment I shifted my perspective, everything changed. I began to see these obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, to become stronger. The walls they built around you, the limits they imposed, the doubts they planted in your mind, all of it is fuel for your ascent. Each challenge you face adds to your strength. Each setback teaches you something new. Instead of letting obstacles define you, redefine them, see them for what they are, stepping stones that elevate you to new heights. With every step, you rise higher. Life doesn't throw obstacles your way to break you. It throws them your way to help you become who you were always meant to be. Embrace them, use them, let them propel you forward. Silence before the storm, the quiet power within. Have you ever found yourself in a moment of stillness, where the world seemed to pause and everything around you felt muted, almost as if life was holding its breath? It's in these moments of quiet that something powerful is brewing. When I look back at my own life, I realized that the most transformative periods were those times when I seemed to be doing nothing at all. I wasn't inactive. I wasn't stuck. I was gathering strength, preparing for something much bigger than myself. People often mistake these moments of silence as weakness or inactivity, but they couldn't be further from the truth. These are the moments when the universe is aligning with your true purpose, when your soul is gathering the energy needed to shift your reality. The quiet power within you is always working behind the scenes. You might not see it, but it's there, shaping your destiny. Just like the calm before a storm, everything is about to change. And when that storm hits, it will be unstoppable. Your power, once dormant, will unleash with the force of 1,000 storms. The quiet, that's just preparation. Get ready to rise. The spark of destiny, becoming a legend. There's a moment in everyone's life when they realize they are destined for something greater. It's like a spark that ignites deep within you, a feeling that refuses to be ignored. For me, it happened unexpectedly. I was just living my life, trying to make it through each day, when one day I felt that spark. It was as if a hidden door opened within me, and everything I had experienced in life suddenly made sense. I wasn't just surviving. I was preparing for something monumental. That spark, that shift in perception, is the beginning of your transformation into something legendary. The path you are walking isn't ordinary. You're not here to play small. You are here to become a force that echoes through history. A legend isn't born out of luck. They are forged through struggle, through moments of doubt, and most importantly, through the courage to step into your true purpose. When that spark ignites within you, don't hesitate. Step forward. Embrace the journey ahead, because you are about to become something the world has never seen before, transmuting darkness into light, using challenges as fuel. Life isn't always easy, and you know that better than anyone. You've faced challenges that have shaken you to your core. There were times when it felt like everything was against you, when the weight of the world threatened to crush your spirit. I've been there too, but what I've learned is this: it's not the darkness that defines you, it's how you respond to it. The challenges you face aren't obstacles meant to break you. They are the raw materials you need to build something extraordinary. When I was at my lowest, I realized that the very darkness I feared could be transformed into my greatest strength. Every setback, every failure, every painful experience became fuel for my growth. It wasn't about avoiding the darkness, it was about learning to use it. You are an alchemist of the soul. When life throws its challenges at you, don't resist them. Embrace them. Transmute that darkness into light. Let it strengthen your resolve, sharpen your focus, and propel you toward the greatness you were always meant to achieve. The struggles you face today are the foundation for the legend you are becoming. No boundaries, embracing the limitless you. There was a time when I thought my life had limits. I believed the stories I had been told, that I could only go so far, achieve so much, and then I would hit a wall. But everything changed the moment I stopped accepting the boundaries placed on me. I realized that there were no limits to what I could achieve. The constraints I had felt were self-imposed, not inherent truths. It was all in my mind. And when I let go of those limitations, I found myself capable of things I never thought possible. You are limitless. Your potential cannot be confined by the expectations of others, by society's rules, or by any self-doubt that may linger in your mind. There are no boundaries for you, not unless you allow them to exist. The world will try to tell you that there are lines you shouldn't cross, dreams that are too big, goals that are too far out of reach. But the truth is, if you dare to dream beyond those lines, you will find that the universe has no boundaries. It only knows limitless possibility. You are capable of achieving the impossible. You just have to believe it. Leading the revolution, redefining the path. Have you ever felt like you were walking a path that wasn't yours? Like everyone around you was following a script, but you could feel deep down that there was something different, something better waiting for you. For years, I followed the conventional route. I did what I was told, took the steps laid out for me, but it never felt right. And then, one day, I realized something profound. I wasn't meant to follow the path. I was meant to create a new one. The revolution starts with one person who dares to think differently, to challenge the status quo, and to walk away from the path others have paved. That person is you. Your vision is not limited by the road others have walked before you. It's time for you to redefine the path, to lead others into a new reality where anything is possible. The revolution isn't a fight against others, it's a fight for the freedom to be who you truly are. When you choose to step off the beaten path and blaze your own trail, you are not just creating a new way forward for yourself. You are creating a movement that will inspire countless others to do the same. It's time to lead. It's time to redefine what is possible. The world is waiting for you to show the way. The power of voice, shattering the silence. Have you ever felt like your voice didn't matter? Like no matter how loud you screamed, how much you spoke, it just didn't reach the ears that needed to hear it. I've been there, standing in rooms full of people, but feeling invisible. It's as if the world had a filter for my words, rejecting them before they could even be heard. But there's a turning point, a moment when you realize that your voice is far more powerful than you ever imagined. I remember the first time I stood up for myself, really stood up, and let my voice echo through the silence that had once drowned me. It wasn't just words, it was a force, a declaration of my existence. That moment changed everything. Suddenly, the silence no longer had power over me. My voice became a weapon, a tool of transformation, and a key to unlocking the doors that had been closed to me. You have that power too. Your voice is not just noise. It is the thunder that can shake the foundations of the world around you. It's time to use it. Shatter the silence. Let your truth echo, because the world can no longer afford to ignore you. Your voice is a revolution waiting to happen. The light within, the power of self-realization. There was a time when I didn't know who I truly was. I went through life reacting to what was handed to me, following others' definitions of success, happiness, and purpose. But somewhere along the way, I started to ask myself, is this all there is? Is this the limit of my potential? That's when the light within me began to awaken. It wasn't a dramatic event, but a quiet realization. I began to see myself differently, not as someone defined by the past or by the opinions of others, but as a unique force with endless potential. This light within you is always there, waiting to shine. It's the spark that's been hidden under layers of doubt, fear, and conformity. But once you allow yourself to recognize it, to accept its power, everything changes. You start to see the world not as it's been presented to you, but as you are meant to shape it. The power of self-realization is the power to understand that you are not small, not insignificant. You are the light that can illuminate every dark corner of your life and the world around you. The only question is, Will you choose to let it shine? The final transformation, you are the chosen one. I remember the first time I truly understood what it meant to be the chosen one. For years, I thought it was something reserved for others, people more capable, more powerful, more special than me. But the truth is, the chosen one isn't an external label, it's a state of mind. It's an understanding that you were born with a purpose that only you can fulfill. It's not about waiting for some grand, divine intervention to tell you that you're special. It's about realizing that you've always been special. I know now that the transformation isn't just about external achievements or accolades. It's about awakening to the divine power that's always been inside you. Once I embraced this, once I saw myself for who I truly was, the world around me began to shift. Things that once felt impossible started to fall into place. The transformation doesn't happen overnight. But when it does, you'll see that it was always meant to be. You are the chosen one, not because someone told you so, but because you have always been destined for greatness. Embrace this truth. Stand in your power. The world is waiting for you to step into your destiny. Conclusion, a new era of possibility. As I reflect on my journey, I realize that what I once thought were setbacks were actually stepping stones. Every struggle, every moment of doubt, and every challenge I faced was not a roadblock, but an opportunity to rise higher. You may be at the start of your journey or in the middle of a difficult chapter, but I promise you this, your story is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. This is the new era, the era of possibility, where you realize that nothing is impossible. The limits you once believed in are falling away, and the path before you is opening up in ways you never thought possible. You are no longer bound by the constraints of the past, and you are no longer waiting for permission to be great. The power is in your hands now. It's time to step forward into the greatness that awaits you. You are no longer just a part of the story, you are the author. The world is full of endless possibilities, and now, it's time for you to create the life you were always meant to lead. This is your moment. The revolution has already started, and you are the one leading it. The question is, how will you answer the call?